Now you may have read the title and been like, "What, corrupt duck? Are you recording this from jail? How did you get out of there?" And well, no, but it was close. Okay, actually no, it wasn't. I'm lying for engagement purposes. Anyway, this story took place a few months ago. Actually, it was last summer. I'm not sure. We were just on vacation in Italy, and we were at the airport in Italy, getting back to our home country, which I'm not gonna reveal. We went through security, as you do. Yay, airport security, free safety, and eventually we got to the X-ray machines. Now, everyone went through and it was nice and great. Everybody was fine. I got my luggage and we went on the airplane and had a nice rest of our day. Is what would have happened if we wouldn't have been idiots. Now, for you to understand how the rest of these events unfolded, you need to understand the type of hotel we were staying in. You see, we had bought breakfast beforehand, so you could just go in for breakfast and eat it for free at the hotel. It was just all you can eat buffet in breakfast. You could just take anything, eat it, cut it up, fork it, spoon it, whatever you want. Okay, it was an all you can eat buffet. It's an all you can eat buffet. And eventually we were leaving. Now I'm really lazy, so I really wasn't organizing my luggage. I kind of just threw my things in it and left my fate up to the rest of the family. And turns out it was a mistake, because we finally got to the airport and we had to do all that painful security things, measures, whatever you call them. And we eventually got to the X-rays once again, this time in a real scenario. And my luggage was inserted through the X-rays. Now everybody got through nice and clear. I also got through nice and clear to that machine that beeps when you have anything metal on you. It's really annoying because if you have buttons, it just triggers off and says "Oh, this man's a criminal, arrest him, tase him, shoot him 8 times in the chest." And it just works like that. It's annoying. Happened to me a few times. This time I just check my clothes every time I go to the airport and it works. However, that wasn't the problem. You see, everybody got their luggage back beautifully, except me, okay? I was the odd one out. And I was waiting for my luggage. I was like, what has happened? Did they find a bomb or something? What? Am I gonna get compromised? Go on without me, family. I can handle this. And eventually a TSA agent came up to us and I was like, "Let's go, I'm finally gonna get my luggage." So our X-rays detected a potentially dangerous weapon in your luggage. What? How did this happen? I don't remember bringing a knife on the plane. Okay, this is unexpected for me as well. So it was like, yeah, look at this picture, and a printed out picture, just showing what was on there, and it seemed like some sort of a knife, It's like, what? And I slowly turned at my mom, and she was like, "What?" She was just as confused as me. I expected her to know something. She didn't. Okay, adults don't always know everything. Take that lesson, children. Anyway, so they finally took out this bag out of my luggage, and they started thoroughly. They just started searching it, okay? They just started searching really hard, and they weren't really finding anything, so we were like, idiots, when you think we have a knife right at that moment, the TSA agent just pulled out a knife. Now, it wasn't anything that serious, it was just a butter knife, but it's still an offense, okay? You cannot bring a butter knife on an airplane. That doesn't matter. It's used for butter, okay? That people can get creative, okay? If it's used for butter, doesn't mean it can't be used for human flesh. Anyway, we just both looked at him like a deer in the headlights, and it was a butter knife, so we clearly knew that this probably wasn't on purpose. We weren't terrorists. We weren't the infamous butter knife terrorists. We weren't about to hijack this plane and crash it into the White House with a butter knife. Okay, we couldn't do anything. So he was like, "All right, well, you clearly didn't want to bring this on. Just don't be stupid idiots next time, please. You can't have butter knives on a plane. Doesn't matter, they're butter." And we're like, yeah, we know, we didn't mean it, okay, it's fine, we didn't mean it, don't arrest us. It was like, fine. Now he could have very well just detained us, because it's still very much illegal to bring any sort of a knife on a plane. We were pretty lucky that we got actually like a nice TSA. I guess Italians are nice. Shout out to Italy. But we just got through, and we went to the rest of the family, and they were like, "What the hell happened? What took you so long?" Yeah, so they found a weapon in our luggage, just a regular day through TSA. And they just started ranting about, oh, you could have gotten arrested, you fools, what are you thinking, butter knife? And then it finally hit for my mom, what has happened, and how the hell does a butter knife get in our luggage? Because we didn't know up until this point, we just thought, like, Jesus came down to earth himself to just put a butter knife into our luggage. We had no idea how this happened, and eventually my mom just clicked, and it was like, oh yeah, when we were at one of those all-you-can-eat buffet breakfasts, I took a butter knife and I put it in her luggage. Why? How does that even happen? Anyway, basically what happened is she accidentally somehow took the butter knife. I think she like borrowed it or something because she needed it for like a trip we were taking. If you wanted to emergency spread butter, obviously, what else could you need it for? And then when we were leaving, she just left it in her bag, and that bag, of course, went into my luggage. So it was a great experience. Almost got arrested. 100% would do again, but it's really our fault. I mean, the TSA were just doing their job. They weren't gonna let us through with a butter knife. I mean, maybe like the next day on the news, you'd be hearing about a second 11 attempted with a butter knife. Okay, like you can never be too careful. So good job on their part. Definitely very lucky on our part, and yeah, it was great. Anyway, subscribe. This is not clickbait. It was still a knife, okay? It doesn't matter, it's butter. It was still a knife. Subscribe. Bye.